Hello. I'd like to spend a few minutes discussing the contractor revenue lifecycle and how Aptitude Software can help your organization not only manage the cycle, but also identify ways that your revenue accounting team can have impactful and forward-facing actions within your organization. This continues Aptitude's theme on how we're enabling the CFO and CAO offices to become disruptors in their industries and move from a back foot or responsive approach to a more productive approach in influencing sales and market decisions. First off, a bit of history. There have been two major compliance actions in recent history for organizations, starting with the software industry's compliance with SOP 97.2. Then ASC 605 came about, with most companies having to adopt in 2011. That not only broadened the scope of industries impacted by revenue recognition guidance, but also changed fundamental calculations and recognition patterns. Finally, ASC 606 went into effect starting in 2018. That's quite a bit of change for not only organizations looking to comply, but also software vendors having to refine, redesign, and upgrade their offerings for the benefit of their clients and customers. Therefore, the primary focus for solution providers on the core requirements of these guidances, and specifically in the areas of revenue recognition and accounting. Initial versions of revenue recognition software were not much more than engines designed to perform the calculations and related accounting, but we're still very dependent on upstream and downstream sales and financial systems. Aptitude registering wasn't much different. However, as we developed our solution to allow for dual reporting for ASC 605 compliance in 2011, we realized we had established the foundation for all future revenue recognition compliance requirements, as well as other areas in the revenue lifecycle. This gave rise to Aptitude registering becoming a true revenue lifecycle management system, allowing our users to become impactful in the organization beyond core revenue recognition. Let me briefly take you around this revenue wheel to discuss ways in which Aptitude registering can enable your team to be impactful in your organization. Pricing. Since we've established SSPs and revenue recognition, you can now participate in strategic go-to-market, product introduction, and bundling decisions with your sales and sales finance teams. You can help them evaluate the potential impact to the balance sheet and income statement from pricing decisions. Contracts. Ultimately, the name of the ASC 606 standard is revenue from contracts with customers. Guess what the biggest challenge is in adopting the standard? Surprisingly, it's identifying the contract, not only from a data and systems perspective, but how it's structured and identifying what has been sold. This is where the concept of deal desk review comes into play. Obligations. In Aptitude registering, the Transaction Hub and Arrangement Hub allow the user to not only capture contract information from upstream systems, but also create and model contracts directly in Aptitude registering. The revenue accountant can load a quote, run it through SSP allocations, and use that as the basis for review and approval of the contract prior to executing it with the customer. By doing this activity, the revenue accountant can assign a template to the deal so that when it is actually executed and loaded into upstream ordering and contract systems, the resulting process is fully automated. If the deal is non-standard, the revenue accountant can create any additional revenue policy rules needed to automatically account for the contract. By moving this exercise upstream throughout the financial period, rather than reactively at the end of the financial period that many companies struggle with, you will shorten your close cycle and be able to focus on productive tasks such as generating your management disclosure reporting rather than scrambling to keep up. Subledger. I've already touched on the core revenue recognition accounting topics, but those are still at the core of this revenue wheel, if you will. Once we've created the accounting entries needed and sent current period entries to your general ledger, you have established a true revenue subledger. Normal period close activities then take place, but having a true subledger in place with balances down to the granular contract line level gives you an unprecedented view of your balance sheet, powering your roll forward reporting. Finally, as Aptitude registering becomes your single system for revenue management in your organization, the depth of reporting is profound. Not only do we provide out-of-the-box operational disclosure reporting, our Insights platform allows you to create and run your own KPIs and dashboards based on any data element you fed in the system. Being able to report on revenue backlog, waterfalls, future forecasts by any dimension of the system without any dependence on BI systems or your IT department has really empowered our users to make a difference in their organizations. With the functionality that I mentioned previously that was developed for transition compliance, our clients have extended its usage beyond US GAAP and IFRS books, but to also run revenue management reporting, tax reporting, forecasts, and new product or contract modeling. FP&A systems typically don't have US GAAP revenue policy in their systems, but Aptitude RevStream, as the application that holds your revenue policy, can give you US GAAP compliant forecasting. Our users love this because they no longer have to spend time explaining why revenue by product is different than forecast when sales were as expected. The cycle continues with the revenue team becoming more and more involved in the beginning steps of the cycle, leveraging what they have gained from the core revenue recognition functions. The insights and benefits of a revenue team becoming involved in all stages of this revenue lifecycle moves them into a state of disruption, and that's a powerful capability for your organization. We'd like to continue this conversation with you and discuss how Aptitude Software can be of service to your company. Please visit us at aptitudesoftware.com to learn more. Thank you.